Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As I am taking my lunch today, let me share you some short stories and hoping that it will inspire you and reflect on your day today as I do. Our first story is The Elephant and Friends. A lone elephant walked through the forest looking for friends. She soon saw a monkey and proceeded to ask, "Can we be friends, monkey?" The monkey quickly replied, "You are big and can swing on trees as I do, so I cannot be your friend." Defeated, the elephant continued to search when it stumbled across a rabbit. She proceeded to ask him, "Can we be friends, rabbit?" The rabbit looked at the elephant and replied, "You are too big to fit inside my burrow. You cannot be my friend." Then the elephant continued until she met a frog. She asked, "Will you be my friend, frog?" The frog replied, "You are too big and heavy. You cannot jump like me. I am sorry, but you can't be my friend." The elephant continued to ask the animals she met on her way, but always received the same reply. The following day, the elephant saw all the forest animals run in fear. She stopped a bear to ask what was happening and was told the tiger was attacking all the small animals. The elephant wanted to save other animals, so she went to the tiger and said, "Please, sir, leave my friends alone. Do not eat them." The tiger didn't listen. He merely told the elephant to mind her own business. Seeing the other way, the elephant kicked the tiger and scared him away. Upon hearing of the brave tale, the other animals agreed, "You are just the right size to be our friend." The moral of the story is friends come in every shape and size. So do not be so picky. Our next story is The Wise Man. People have been coming to the wise man, complaining about the same problems every time. One day, he told them a joke, and everyone roared in laughter. After a couple of minutes, he told them the same joke, and only a few of them smiled. When he told the same joke for the third time, no one laughed anymore. The wise man smiled and said, "You can't laugh at the same joke over and over. So why are you always crying about the same problem?" See, the moral of the story is worrying won't solve any problems. It's just waste your time and energy. Our next story is The Needle Tree. Once there were two brothers who lived at the forest edge. The oldest brother was always unkind to his younger brother. The older brother took all the food and snatched all the good clothes. The oldest brother used to go into the forest in search of firewood to sell in the market. As he walked through the forest, he chopped off the branches of every tree until he came upon a magical tree. The tree stopped him before he chopped its branches and said, "Oh, kind sir, please spare my branches. If you spare me, I will provide you with golden apples." The oldest brother agreed, but was feeling disappointed when how many apples the tree gave him. Overcome by greed, the brother threatened to cut the entire tree if it didn't provide him with more apples. But instead of giving more apples, the tree showered him with hundreds of tiny needles. The brother fell to the ground, crying in pain as the sun began to set. Soon, the younger brother became worried and went to search for his older brother. He searched until he found him at the trunk of the tree, lying in pain with hundreds of needles on his body. He rushed to him and started to painstakingly remove each needle with love. Once the needles were out, the older brother apologized for treating his younger brother so badly. The magical tree saw the change in the older brother's heart and gifted them with all the golden apples they could need. So the moral of the story, it's important to be kind as it always be rewarded. Our next story is The Foolish Donkey. A salt seller used to carry the salt bag on his donkey to the market every day. On the way, they had to cross a stream. One day, the donkey suddenly tumbled down the stream and the salt bag also fell into the water. The salt dissolved in the water and hence the bag became very light to carry. The donkey was happy. Then the donkey started to play the same trick every day. The salt seller began to understand the trick and decided to teach a lesson to it. The next day, he loaded a cotton bag on the donkey. Again, it played the same trick, hoping that the cotton bag would still become lighter. But the dumped cotton became very heavy to carry, and the donkey suffered. It learned the lesson. It didn't play the trick anymore after that day, and the seller was happy. The moral of the lesson, or the moral of the story rather, luck won't favor always. Our next inspiring story is A Glass of Milk. There once was a poor boy who spent his days going door to door selling newspaper to pay for school. One day, as he was walking his route, he started feeling low and weak. The poor boy was starving, so he decided to ask for food when he came to the next door. The poor boy asked for food but was denied every time until he reached the door of a girl. He asked for a glass of water, but seeing his poor state, the girl came back with a glass of milk. The boy asked how much he owed to her for the milk, but she refused payment. Years later, the girl, who was now a grown woman, fell sick. She went from doctor to doctor, but no one was able to cure her. Finally, she went to the best doctor in town. The doctor spent months treating her until she was finally cured. Despite her happiness, she was afraid she couldn't afford to pay the bill. But when the hospital handed her the bill, it read, paid in full with a glass of milk. The moral of the story is no good deed goes unrewarded. Our next story is The Ants and the Grasshopper. One bright autumn day, a family of ants was busy working in the warm sunshine. They were drying out the grain they had stored up during the summer when a starving grasshopper came up. With his fiddle under his arm, the grasshopper humbly begged for a bite to eat. What? Cried the ants. Haven't you stored any food away for the winter? What in the world were you doing all summer? I didn't have time to store any food before winter, the grasshopper whined. I was too busy making music that the summer flew by. The ants simply shrugged their shoulders and said, "Making music? Were you? Very well, now dance." The ants then turned their backs on the grasshopper and returned to work. The moral of the story is there's a time for work and time for play. Our next story is When Adversity Knocks. Asia was getting frustrated and tired of life, so she asked her father what to do. Her father told her to bring an egg, 2 tea leaves, and a potato. He then brought out 3 vessels, filled them with water, and placed them on the stove. Once the water was boiling, he told Asia to place the items into each pot and keep an eye on them. After 10 minutes, he asked Asia to peel the egg, peel the potato, and strain the leaves. Asia was left confused. Her father explained each item was placed into the same circumstance, boiling water. See how each responded differently? He continued, the egg was soft, but is now hard. The potato was hard, but is now soft. And the tea leaves, they change the water itself. The father then asked, when adversity calls, we respond in the same manner as they have. Now, are you an egg, a potato, or tea leaves? The moral lesson of the story is that we can choose how to respond in difficult situations. Ayan, so that's all for today, my friends. So hope you enjoy watching me eating and listening to some short stories. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you will be notified on our next video. Thank you.